Hey everyone, Shaedow here, and welcome to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at She-Hulk. Now, recently, She-Hulk, along with Spider-Gwen, got a rework, and in my opinion, Kabam did a very good job. So first, we're going to take a look at her synergy bonuses. Now, this first synergy bonus, Agents of Smash, to me is the best one. All right, she gains 20% potency for her Fury passives. That is huge. She ramps up indefinitely these Furies, and having 20% more potency means she's going to be hitting even harder per Fury. Okay? Now, this next one here, the stun ability accuracy, not as useful for her, but that 15% duration for her Furies is useful because, as you will see later on, they can drop off unless you get them refreshed. So having a longer duration on them means you have a longer time to get them refreshed. And the rest of these, power gain, critical rating, perfect block chance, they're worth mentioning, but you can get those from other synergies. And I wouldn't bring anyone in here just for that. All right. Now, her signature ability, not necessary. But if you do have her awakened, she adds utility. And it reminds me somewhat of Captain America Infinity War, sort of in the reverse. You know, whereas he has to have these classes on his team to give him certain abilities, for her, it's when she goes up against these classes. All right, and you can see them there. Science, that could be useful. 65% chance to shrug off a debuff when she's hitting them for every hit landed. Mystic increases her attack rating, and they gain less power. That could be very useful against Mystic champions. I'm looking at you, Magic. Cosmic gains attack rating. Tech, they suffer 55% armor up effect, duration, and potency. The only one that I was thinking of here, the one that came right to my mind, was Civil Warrior. But I'm sure there's other applications as well. Mutant, the opponent suffers 50% ability accuracy during special attacks. Now, let's go on to her abilities. Induce Panic. So basically, the more Fury she has, the more likely your opponent will be to throw a special. That's it in a nutshell. And keep in mind that she gains Furies as time goes on. You can refresh them, and they will continually fire their special, but you do have to be somewhat familiar with how to bait, but it makes it so much easier to bait out their specials. All right, and of course she's immune to poisons, which she was not before, but she is now immune to poison. Okay, now, when attacked and when she's attacking, she gains the Fury. That's what we have been mentioning, but here's something very interesting. When the opponent activates a special attack, as long as they don't have class advantage, which means skill champions, she will refresh all of her Furies. So that means the more you can get them to fire off their specials, the more refreshes you will get. And remember that the more Fury she has, the more likely they are to fire off a special. So it just becomes easier and easier to maintain and build her Furies. Now, here's something unique. This is something that was introduced with She-Hulk and Spider-Gwen. If the opponent is unstoppable, this attack cannot be interrupted. If the attack lands, the unstoppable effect is removed, and She-Hulk gains a passive Fury. Okay? And of course, that increases her attack. Now, this is different from Spider-Gwen. Okay? Because, as we'll see right here, Spider-Gwen, along with She-Hulk, when they fire off a heavy, they will cause a slow debuff on their opponent, which reduces the ability accuracy of their unstoppable and evade, Got to remember that. Also evade by 100%. Okay? And only opponents with natural class advantage for these guys, it is skill. They can't be slowed. All right, so what this means is that Spider-Gwen, when she fires off a heavy, she puts a slow debuff on them. That prevents them from going unstoppable and evading. She-Hulk does the same thing, but with one difference. If they're already unstoppable, She-Hulk cancels it and then puts the slow on them. So she has a little bit extra utility over Spider-Gwen when it comes to dealing with unstoppable. Okay, always active. Extensive weight training allows She-Hulk's personal passive fury effects and all stun debuffs to last up to 50% longer, based on the size of the opponent. Larger opponents grant longer effects. Okay, that seems pretty self-explanatory. They will last longer the larger her opponents. Now, let's check out her specials. So that special one, you have a 100% chance, which for you guys that may not know, I'm just joking, but she will gain a passive fury when she fires off her special one. All right, and she has a 75% chance to exhaust the opponent, which reduces their critical damage rating by 10 seconds. And the opponent's power gain effects are also reduced by 25% for each exhaustion debuff on them. Okay, so depending on what you're wanting to do, you can have a rotation where you're firing off your special ones and you're preventing the opponent from gaining power. So that could be useful if you need a little power control. All right, now special 2 has a 100% chance to inflict a petrify for 15 seconds, which reduces their regeneration and power gain by a flat 115%. So let me explain why that is so good. That's a single petrify that has a 115% reduction. Captain America Infinity War has a petrify, but each of his are 25%. Void, who we love to see that heal reversal, each of Void's petrifies is 50%. But she has one, just one, that already is going to be reducing and reversing their regen and their power gain. And if you have Despair Mastery, which I recommend everyone get at least 1 point, it just adds to this. It reduces it even further. And later we're going to see how she does against Wolverine in Realm of Legends. And finally, the special attack 3 will stun them for 3.5 seconds and will inflict a weakness debuff on them, which will decrease their attack. All right. So now let's take a look at her. We're going to look at 2 different fights. We're not going to go up against Winter Soldier, but we are going to go up against Juggernaut, and we're also going to go up against Wolverine. So because She-Hulk has a class disadvantage against Winter Soldier, I didn't think that was a great fight to showcase her. So instead, I decided to go up against Juggernaut. And I will show you guys a few things about her that make her fairly unique. All right, so here we go. We're just punching into him. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let him get that unstoppable. Then I'm going to parry him and then hit him with a heavy so that you guys could see that she cancels the unstoppable. That makes her kind of unique. There are other champions like Captain America Infinity War that can do something similar, but there are cases, I believe it's Aspect of War, where they can, or where he cannot, but she can. All right? And once that slow debuff is on them, you will also see that they are not able to gain unstoppable, as you saw right there. All right? And I make a few mistakes in this fight because I'm trying to do so many different things to showcase what she can do. Now, also notice her furies. So to maintain those furies, you want to make sure you push him to a special or any of them, special 1, special 2. And as long as he fires it off, as you saw, it'll refresh and you'll just keep building up those furies indefinitely. And your damage will just keep going up and up and up. So as the fight goes on, just look at the damage she's doing. Did you see that 10k crit? And right there, I got a little happy. I still got a 10k crit on him, but I wasn't paying attention and didn't realize he didn't have the slow debuff on him. But fortunately, this Juggernaut is the old version, so you can actually parry stun him. You can't do that anywhere else. All right, and you saw there, I fired off another special 3 and stunned him for 3.5 seconds. But just look at that damage. Are you seeing those crits in there? This is a 4-star She-Hulk. And she doesn't even have as many furies as she can build up. He's not going to survive long enough. All right, so here we go. We've got 17 furies. And you see that I backed off so that he could fire off his special. And yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Got hit again. But I was just being dazzled by her damage. This is like the first or second time I'm using She-Hulk against this Juggernaut. So I'm still learning, you know, but just look at the damage that she's capable of. I want a 5-star She-Hulk badly. She is a beast. Now, my question to Kabam is, why isn't my OG Hulk like this? Why doesn't OG Hulk ramp up his damage this way? This is a mechanic that when they gave this to She-Hulk, they should have given it to OG Hulk as well. That's just my opinion. All right, next up, we've got Wolverine. Now, I did heal up She-Hulk just in case I messed up, because this is the first time I'm actually going up against this Wolverine with She-Hulk. So I actually changed my strategy. In the beginning, you'll notice that I was trying to build up her furies and maintain them. Now, in other fights, that's a good thing. That's what you want to do. Just ramp up her damage and get them down quicker. But with Wolverine, because of his regen, the important thing with She-Hulk are those petrifies that she places on them with her special 2. And if you're not careful and you're continually trying to maintain the furies, now you can do that, especially if you're better than I am. But again, this is the first time I'm going up against him. I changed up and I said, you know what? I need to fight him similarly to how I fight him with Void, with Captain America Infinity War, you know, folks that can reverse the healing. I need to get those petrifies on him and keep them on him. So after a little bit, what I started doing was just trying to be aggressive and building up to a special 2, firing that off. But then you're going to notice another change. See, I'm learning on the fly here. All right, so I went and, as you can see, I put those petrifies on him, and I'm running suicide, so firing off a lot of these specials is hurting. All right, but here's something else that you're going to want to do. You want to fire off your special 1s as well, because that's going to do even more reduction. All right, so you'll see towards the end here, I started firing off special 1s as well as special 2s. And that seemed to work pretty well, okay? She-Hulk is awesome. I actually had a lot of fun fighting here with her, but I do not like her animations. I just never have. But that quick heavy attack she has, very, very nice. All right, so you can see here, she is just tearing him up. See all that heal reversal right there. As this fight comes to a close, let me talk to you a little bit about the Despair Mastery, which I recommend everyone put at least 1 point in. I personally max it out all the time. But what the Despair Mastery does is it reduces their healing per debuff on them, okay? Now, when you reduce healing below 100%, it does a heal reversal and they actually take damage. That's what you're seeing here. Because on her special 2, she puts a Petrify, which does 115% healing reduction. So you're going to get 15% heal reversal. You're going to be taking damage. Then if you have the Despair Mastery, you're going to be reversing it even further when she puts that Petrify and when she puts a slow debuff. Now, in that fight, I wasn't using the slow debuff a whole lot. Didn't really need to. But that's extra heal reversal, and it would just make the fight go faster. All right? So that is going to do it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and found something to learn, something you didn't know. You can see how good She-Hulk is now. She is very, very good. Very much worth ranking up to 5, in my opinion, as a 5-star or as a 4-star. But take care, everybody. Click like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video. And you all have a blessed day.